Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Stan Gross. I'm president and co-founder of Sano Global Nutrition. I want to talk a little bit about our supplement ALA and ALC. Now, probably not knowing much about this because not much is said about it, but as you're going to find out, there should be. Okay, let's carry on a little bit. Well, the ALA part is called alpha lipoic acid. What is that? Well, obviously it's a compound that's in the body that we get like from cruciferous vegetables, for instance. That's a good source. Our body helps to produce a little bit of it, but as we age or as we are exposed to things that challenge the body, give us oxidative stress, chronic illness, severe infections, on and on and on, all those things cause a depletion of alpha lipoic acid. So we're under constant bombardment. And what this graph actually shows is the cycle for alpha lipoic acid as it increases things like vitamin C and ubiquinol, which would be what? It'd be part of our coenzyme Q10 and even our vitamin E complex. So, and NADH, which is part of our mitochondrial complex and also deals with anti-aging, as we've seen with other products that we promote. So it's an antioxidant, number one, but it's an antioxidant with so many applications. So what does it do? Well, when you look at the compound, if you look at the basic elements of what it touches, ALA is an antioxidant for all the other antioxidants. So what it does, it causes a replenishment when we have a loss of like L-glutathione, which is our number one master antioxidant of the body. It increases glucose and fat metabolism. So it helps with maintaining high energetics in the body. It removes heavy metal contaminants and it reduces systemic inflammation. Now, that's a broad brushstroke, but we can get more detailed. For instance, it helps to preserve bone density. Well, how does it do that? Well, by increasing our metabolism in general, increases circulation. As it does so, it increases circulation of micronutrients, including mineral complex, including vitamin D3 and K2, and ubiquinol, which does what? Increases the possibility for more developed bone matrix, stronger bones, more structurally supportive. It helps regulate blood sugar. If there's too much glucose, too much sugar in the blood, ALA helps to reduce that. By doing what? By not allowing the sugar to be taken in from the blood into different cells that causes excessive increase in not just glucose, but also into fatty sugars, lipids bound to sugars, which sometimes can be much, much worse, especially for the liver. It's been proven very effective for peripheral neuropathy. People who have chemotherapy, people who have certain types of surgeries, or people who just have chronic nerve issues due to stenosis. This is really, really wonderful. ALA, ALC helps to reduce those symptoms tremendously by increasing microcirculation and allowing for normal synaptic firing of the nerves. By increasing glucose metabolism, it contributes to what? To weight loss, naturally. It detoxifies heavy metals. Now, this is really important in conjunction with things like N-acetylcysteine, which we get in our Immune One. As we're taking heavy metals out of the brain, the liver, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, which is the common sites where heavy metals are stored, we also reduce the inflammatory effects of heavy metals on these tissues, which can lead to all kinds of other health problems, heart disease, dementia, fatty liver syndrome, cystic development and granulomas in the lungs, renal and suprarenal issues. So the renal compromise, so the kidneys don't work as well, suprarenal or adrenal, so the constant fight or flight syndrome. And of course, as heavy metals are removed, those contaminants from the brain, because it does cross the brain barrier, it decreases the likelihood of neurological degeneration or central nervous system degeneration, such as things like, forms of dementia, Alzheimer's, and so forth, which have been linked with plaquing that has also been linked to some heavy metal contaminants. It reactivates, get this, it reactivates vitamin C, vitamin E, NADH, NADPH, all of the different nutrients in the body, the L-glutathione, that we use to fight oxidative stress. It allows those to be rebound and recycled again once they seem to be used up. So it's an efficient means of adding, shall we say, a time element to the micronutrients that we're taking in. If you look at it, it's real simple. The acetyl L-carnitine, which we'll get into in just a little bit, is 525 milligrams. And alpha lipoic acid is 225. So if you're taking 2 capsules, you're getting 450 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid, which is considered standard dosages from age throughout adulthood. So what is ALC? That's the other half of this, right? Didn't talk much about that. ALA seems to be powerful enough. Why did we add the ALC? Well, ALC is really the best partner in the world. Acetyl L-carnitine does many of the same things, but it does so in concert with alpha lipoic acid. So where one leaves off, the other picks up and completes the task. So what does it do exactly? Well, people have tried to treat many different problems, including Alzheimer's disease, as we mentioned earlier, by deplaquing the brain of heavy metals. It controls blood sugar just the same way ALA and ALC combination would be predictable for pre-diabetics. It's wonderful. And for diabetes itself, once it's in full control and you've lost blood sugar control, it helps insulin react more efficiently. It helps with alcoholism. Not only that, all addiction, because of how it changes the synaptic firing in the brain. And depression. If your brain is able to think more clearly, you're able to reduce the symptoms of depression. Infertility in men, because it increases sperm movement. Yes, indeedy. It increases the amount of healthy fluids associated with the semen, so that the sperm is more fluid in its journey to the egg. Nerve problems, we talked about peripheral neuropathy. We talked about diabetes. HIV drugs. There's interesting studies that have been repeated 6 times where taking ALC increases the efficiency of the drugs that they're using to treat AIDS. That if they gave acetyl L-carnitine, that it would actually increase the efficiency. Increases the efficiency of chemotherapy. Acetyl L-carnitine is a way of opening up channels that some of the chemotherapeutic drugs try to get into. Then, once it's done its dirty work, right, once it's killed a bunch of cells and we got all this oxidative stress, it reverses the effects of the chemotherapeutic drug. So it doesn't interfere, it enhances it, and then in the return of it, it actually changes the damage done by the drug into something more palatable to the body. The Peyronie's disease, it causes the penis to curve abnormally, unequal blood flow from one side to the other. And this could really be very, very painful. I know it sounds maybe amusing, but it's not for the person suffering from it. And the men who took ALC for 3 months had less pain, less curving. Ultimately, after 6 months to a year of taking it, the problem was totally resolved. That sounds great. So who should be taking ALA, ALC? Well, based on everything we said, you would think everyone, but you have to make that decision for yourself. It helps the body. It's not a cure. Remember, we don't cure anything, and there's no such thing as reversing pathology with natural products. We aid the body in controlling a process that is not working appropriately. So it helps with blood sugar issues, peripheral neuropathy, mental acuity, cellular energy, heavy metal detoxification, oxidative stress, weight management, addiction, depression, and controlling bone loss. Now, you have to ask yourself, are you suffering from any of these issues? If you are, guess what? You need a bottle of this. So who can safely take ALA, ALC? Well, we recommend from ages 12 throughout adulthood. Is it possible for younger children to have a need for that? Yes, and if you do consult with the physician, especially someone who is well-versed and understanding in natural products and nutrition, it is safe for every human, because would you feed your baby broccoli or Brussels sprouts or cabbage or any of those things, cruciferous vegetables? Of course you would. No, they're healthy. Well, these are all food-derived supplements. That's what our company does. We don't use synthetics, no artificial colors, no artificial anything, no GMO. It's all food derived. So of course it's safe. You just have to ask yourself, does a child actually have peripheral neuropathy? In some cases, yes. So let's address it as it comes up. Do you have questions? I hope you do, because I love questions. So you can reach me at Dr. Stan at sanoglobalnutrition.com. I'll be back with more of these, and I'm glad you dropped by. I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.